Alright, y'all, welcome back to the bench in the backyard. This is that little Precumbens that I picked up in upstate New York. And we're going to be doing some work on it today. Definitely going to be cleaning up this bottom so we can see what the trunk looks like. It's been staked up. Not too bad. It's got a little bit of droop. But what I'm planning on doing is probably bringing it up like this so we get a little bit more vertical. We'll see what this trunk looks like. So we'll go ahead, come in here, and clean out all the low growing branches and just see what we're working with. So that's our trunk. It's got some really nice movement in it. It goes this way and then comes back up. And if we do it going away and come up like this, if we corkscrew it around like this, sorry. So about like that. Or we can run it as a cascade. Down and around like this. And bring this up as the little apex. And bring that down like that. Bring that around like that. Alright, sometimes when I'm not sure what I want to do, I'll come back and take a different look at it from a little bit farther away so you can kind of see the motion of where everything is going and that kind of thing. I think this is going to be the front. The Nabari on it hasn't really set up yet, so I can make that whatever I want it to be. Alright, so looking at it, I do believe this is going to be the front. It almost has to be. Alright, I think my problem with this tree is I just looking at it too much, you know? Not actually turning it into a bonsai, just looking at it instead of doing anything. So I guess what I should do is come in and just clean up all of the main branches and just see what that leaves me with. Because looking at it isn't doing me any good. I'm not taking off any of the main branches. I'm just literally going in and cleaning up anything that's real small coming off of the trunk, any crotch growth, and about the first inch of each of the branches. I don't want to go too far up the branches, but anything small, anything that's not really material that I would use. There's a bunch of little small stuff coming off the main trunk. Alright, so I've got 4 really strong leaders. Got 1, 2, 3, and then this 4th one that could be a Cascade, or it could be wrapped up and brought into the apex. That's what I'm having to try to decide between. Or we can bring this up and around. Use this Cascade. And then swing this one out. That kind of covers up the trunk though. We can use the Cascade on either side. It's just a question of, can we uncover this? If we went more cloud style with like the rounded top, it could be okay. Alright, so I've been looking at this probably for about a week, week and a half, 2 weeks. Last time I just came in and wired the main trunk. And I've been alternating between formal upright and just not paying attention to the apex at all. You know, it'll get cleaned up. And as a Cascade with that as the front. You look in, the trunk comes out towards us, bends back, and then comes back around. And I think this is how I want to go with it. Maybe about like that. We'll have this main Cascade, a second smaller Cascade that maybe comes down and right around behind, right up underneath the trunk. If you do that though, I mean the trunk is coming straight out at you. You can see that it comes out of the pot straight, almost straight toward you, and then bends back around. And if we take this and kind of bring it down underneath, these will probably go away, and we'll use this as the apex. Probably shorten it back to like right there, something like that, and then bring this up and under this one back here as kind of a directional branch. And then we can take this. I'm gonna have to figure out something to do with all of this mass right in here. But I think that's what I'm gonna do, is go with this, do a Cascade with it. I mean, this is just a lot to lose. Because if we were gonna go formal upright, I'd probably end it right about where the wire is, right here, and would lose this whole pad. I kind of want to keep it just to see what I can do with it. The only Cascade I have that y'all have seen was that Preumbens Juniper that I did a couple of months ago, the one that I broke the Cascade on. So I'm going to try and not do that on this one, because I want something that is a little bit more dramatic than that. So yeah. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in and clean up all of the interior growth So we're going to make sure that we're alternating sides on the branches. So anywhere that there is anything growing up underneath, we'll go ahead and take that off. And anything, we're going to alternate. So coming out the right, your left, right. This one's basically right across from that. So we'll take that off. So the next one we're looking for is something on the right. So we'll take these two off. Right, left. This little one. This one's coming straight out the top. Left, right. Take off that opposing branch. Off the top. Out the bottom. Also on the bottom. So right, left. Technically this would be the next one. Yeah, we can go ahead and take that out. We're just going to be thinning this out so that I can get some wire on it. Alright, so that's cleaned up. Took off maybe, I don't know, a third of the foliage so far. Okay, so right there, what I'm thinking, I'm going to start up here at the apex. And we'll probably bring this up around and wire it in somewhere, and then bring this one down and around, so we kind of are moving this way. Yeah, it wants to bend that way anyway. We bring this out and then back. We can kind of frame this little elbow right here. If we change the planing angle a little bit, bring it a little bit more up like that, so that it kind of comes at us. We'll figure it out as we wire. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be wiring this branch to this one, and this branch to this one, and that way we get a couple of reps on the trunk for each of those to kind of anchor that wire in. I'm going to be using a 2mm wire. Again, as I've shown you a couple of times. If you can push on the branch with about an inch of the wire, you know that's going to be able to hold it. So I guess we're going to wire this one first. Or no, well, yes, we can wire that one first, but I need to actually measure that one, because that was way too much wire for it. And whenever you're using a heavier gauge wire like this on a smaller branch, just remember that you need to support the tree as well, or you'll just rip it in half. I've done that a couple times. And again, we kind of create our little double loop right there that holds it from the top and the bottom. And this will come up onto this big one. And once we get everything wired in, I'll come back and clean up any branches that are on the insides of the curves. And this one, All right, I think that's what we're going to be looking at. All right, there we go. So starting up here at the apex, so the main apex is actually down on this branch. We bring it down and then back up. So this is going to be the apex. This might be, depending on if it thickens up. Here, you can see it better from over here. So this right here, if we get some growth on that, then we'll leave that as it is. But as it is, we bring the apex branch down and then up, and then it drops back down and then cuts out. And then our next directional branch is right here, just going out to the side. We twisted it up, put a little S into it to shorten it out. And we've got this, and then our main cascade starts down here. Kind of splitting it out. Bring that in. About like that. And so that's what we're looking at. Just a big cascade coming out of the planter. We'll probably wind up needing to plant about like that, so that soil level will be about right there. In the spring, we'll figure it out. Get in here, try and clean up the top of this root mass. We might pile it for the first couple of years until this bottom side really fills out. So planting about like that. And just have it coming straight out towards us. So, one last little circle. And we're looking at about a, from soil level down, it's about 8-inch drop, which for a tree this size is pretty good. And it could be longer if we took some of the curve out of this part of the cascade trunk. But I really want some really good movement in it. And as these pads start to develop, I mean, this is all just structural right now, obviously, because everything is just so young on it. But hopefully we'll get this into development. We'll replant in the spring. So, yeah. So that is our new Cascade. I wasn't sure how to go with it, whether I wanted to do a Cascade tree or do an informal upright with it. But I really like the way this turned out. So until the next time I see y'all out at the bench in the backyard, just remember to grow them big, but keep them small.